This video is looking at many-to-many relationships. Before we look at many-to-many, let's just recap on the whole one-to-many relationship. We'll see how many-to-many differs from that. Here's my table of students, and what I've set up here is a column for their tutor group. So their tutor group is just a number here, and that number refers to this number here. So if I see number 33, I can go look that up, and number 33 is TPOS. And what we'd normally do is go a step further. I've already set this up. I'll set it up as a lookup to a combo box. So I've looked up in table tutor groups, bound column 1, column count 2, first column is 0 centimeters wide, and it looks like this now. So that looks like the data is entered here. You can see when I click in the field, it's actually a drop-down menu where I can select it. So one student is in one tutor group. So a tutor group can have many students in it. So the student table has got a field which just says which tutor group they're in, and we can see there are some entries in here where there is more than one. Let's just see if we can find one. TSMH, Lucky Burnham and Benson are both in my tutor group. So that's fine. And we can see that in relationship as well. I've got a one tutor group can have many students. Next step, this column here, groups in current year. The way this has been imported here, it's put all of the groups into a single field. It's kind of okay when it's just a group on its own, like one student is in astronomy club, no problem. But some students do many things, we're in many groups. So for example, Joshua is in orienteering and he's in the Cody House boys swimming team. So we need a way to cope with that. So one student can be in many groups, and one group can have many students in it. So it's effectively a many-to-many relationship. Now, I see all kinds of people trying to solve this problem in innovative and interesting ways that are all wrong. Typically, I'll see people firstly try to do something like this, where they stick everything into one field, but that won't really work. I mean, if I've got this groups table here, not tutor groups table here, which I have done orienteering and Arts Council, I can add extra information for each group. So for example, I could add the teacher who's in charge, any fees or any material, any equipment that need to be included. And that won't come through if I just stick it into this field here. So if I wanted to say, the other thing that I see people do is they say, okay, so I need to have more than one group for this particular student, so I'll add more than one field, group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. That creates a whole mess of other problems. And if you think about it in terms of the groups as well, that's got exactly the same issues. I want to list the student here, but I want all their information. I don't want to just put their name here. I want to refer back to the student's table. So I've got all this other useful information about the student, but I can't just have student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4. So how many student fields am I going to have? You never know. It could be up to a couple of thousand. So the correct solution, let's go straight to the correct solution. The correct solution is to create an intermediate table. So I'm going to do that right now. So if I go into create table, and in design view, it's going to be called TBL group membership. So it's kind of in between. So it's saying which group it is, and also which student it is. And every entry in the table, every row in the table, is going to be one student in one group. So I'm going to have a student ID, and I'm going to have a group ID. And each of those, of course, will need to match the same data type as the field in the table they're coming from. Be very careful of this. Like, if you automatically import this table, for instance, I think it imports this numeric field as something other than a long integer, so you have to go and double check that. Anyway, so I'm just going to, with number, long integer, it's all good. That's actually done. So let's just pick someone. I'm going to go with Louis. Actually, no, Victor Jing. I'm going to put Victor 16228. He's in the astronomy club. So the astronomy club is not here. Let's put it in. Astronomy club. Cool. That's number 3. So who was Victor? He is 16228. So I'm going to say 16228 is going to be in the astronomy club. Done. That's that entry made. Let's pick someone else. I'm going to pick here. So someone who's in astronomy and orienteering. I've got a feeling there is. Yes. Ethan Hemmer Jones, 16360. Remember that number. He is in orienteering and astronomy club. So let's put him in astronomy club first. So 16360 is Ethan, and he's in astronomy club. Also, 16360 is in orienteering, number 1. So this is linking them up. So every time I can refer with this group all the way back to all that information about the group, like the group name, the teacher in charge, or whatever else I want to put in that table. And with this number, I'm referring back to that student. Their last name, their first name, their gender, their year level, all of that useful information. And that's being done just in this one table here. Let's have a look at what that looks like in the relationships window. So I'm going to add in, so if I do a show table, I'm going to add, you know what's going to happen here? It's going to tell me to close all those other ones. I'm actually going to close everything. Close all. Yes. Right, let's open that again. Otherwise I'll get that annoying message where you can't do this because those items are open. Was it show table? And I want the groups table and the group memberships table. Let's try and organize these where I want them to be. So the student is going to match with the student ID. Tick, tick, tick. Create. So one student can be in many groups. And the group name is going to match with the group ID. Tick, tick, tick. And I am a little bit... yeah, I tried to link the group name, and of course that's not right. It should be the ID. So, yeah, so one group can contain many students, or many memberships, I should say. And I should have said one student can have many memberships of groups, would be more accurate. So that's all good. Save that. And then finally, let's just create a query to link all of that lot together. So if we grab in, we take the whole lot. We actually don't need the group memberships, but it'll help illustrate what's going on. So I've got, let's tidy that up. Yeah, that's nicer. So I've got last name, first name, group name. And I should have the 3 records from this group memberships table, 2 of Ethan and 1 of Victor. And that's worked perfectly.